Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. I wanted to jump on here today and do a quick reading for you. And one of the messages that I channeled that's coming out for everyone is letting go of guilt. It's really important to let go of guilt. And I know what it's like to truly feel guilty. I just finished writing my book, Beautiful Morning, and I just released it. And it's about my journey of losing my mom to pancreatic cancer 2 years ago. And in the book, I talk about the different stages of grief. And one of those stages is guilt. And I felt so much guilt after my mom passed. We tried so many things to help her to heal this cancer. We tried holistic things. We were trying RSO. We were trying, diet changes, you name it, we were trying it. And the problem is that the chemo was something her body couldn't handle. And so no matter what we did, she couldn't fight the cancer because she actually got infection from the chemo. And that also made me feel extremely guilty because I wish that I could go back and say, don't do this chemo. But that's the thing about guilt. It will tell us all kinds of lies that we didn't do enough, we should have done more, we weren't there. If you've experienced grief, and spoiler alert, we all have, and I know I've been seeing a lot of loss on Facebook. People have been posting that they've lost loved ones. And one of the reasons that I wrote my book, Beautiful Morning, was to help people get through the grief process with more grace and ease. And the thing is, grief is different for every person. It's a journey and there's no expiration date, and it's going to hit you at different times. I don't think you ever get over the loss, but you can get through it. And one of the things about guilt is that it really doesn't do anything, and most of the time our guilt is really irrational. I talk about in my book how I had to sit down and think about all of the things, because I kept telling myself, you didn't do enough to save your mom. And I sat down and made a list of all the things we did. And when I did that, what I realized was that this guilt that I was feeling was completely irrational. But it's just a part of that process of grief that you go through. And so if you're feeling that too, in my book, Beautiful Morning, A Guide to Life After Loss, which is available on Amazon, I talk about how you can work through that guilt. Because for me, that was a really, really big stage of grief. I felt so much of it, and I had to do a lot of releasing. So it's important for you right now to release that guilt and to let go of it. So what I wanted to do was to pull some cards from the Talking to Heaven deck. So if you've lost someone, this can be a pet or a person. We grieve for our animals too because they are like our children, and we have such soul connections to our pets too. I want to pull some messages from your lost loved one to give you some comfort, maybe to give you some messages. What would they like you to know? So we're going to go ahead and do that right now and think about who it is that you would like to hear from. We'll see what messages want to come out. Okay, so the first one is, I have become one of your guides. So your loved one wants you to know they are with you and guiding you lovingly from the other side. And maybe you feel that. We get a lot of signs from our lost, crossed over loved ones. I keep saying lost. They're not lost. They're on the other side. They're just in a new dimension. But they can lovingly guide us from the other side. So if you feel like you get you want to go here, you want to go there, do it, because you may be being guided from your loved one. It's beautiful where I am. You don't need to worry about your loved one. Where they are is beautiful. In fact, they would not want to come back here. I always say Earth is hell. This is the school. This is where it's so hard. And the other side is beautiful and wonderful and amazing. We forget how heavy it is to come here and to learn these lessons. And that's why we get here and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Where they are is beautiful and wonderful, and they're waiting for you and can't wait to greet you when it's your turn to cross over. Many of you are never alone. They're still always very much with you. And maybe you feel their presence with you. If you're sitting alone, when you're crying, sometimes they sit with you and you might feel their presence there. My death was painless, so please don't worry or hold on to guilt. You can't make that up. Don't hold on to guilt about their death. It was one of the things I had to let go of because I had to tell myself that guilt was irrational. Even if they had pain when they if they were sick, like my mom had a lingering illness, she was in pain. As soon as that cord is cut and they go on to the next level, I like to say, whether you want to call it heaven, whatever, that's gone. They don't remember that pain. I'm here helping you. So yeah, they're guiding you. They're still here, very much with you. You may see signs, you may see birds around, cardinals, you may see rainbows. I'm so much better now. They're so much better off. And I'm with the rest of the family. They've been reunited with their family. And they are, we're the ones, and I talk about this in my book, we're the ones who grieve. We're the ones who are left with this gaping hole. They are not. They don't miss us because they're still with us. They can still see us. They can still talk to us. We just have to, and I do talk about this in my book, there are ways you can get signs to let you know that they're still very much with you. And I have a whole chapter for exercises you can do to increase your intuitive abilities so that you can actually get signs from them and notice those signs. So if you are in the middle of this grief, and I totally understand, pick up a copy of my book, Beautiful Mourning, because I really wrote this to help you work through your grief and to get through it and understand it so that you will realize that we can get to the other side of it. I know it's the most difficult journey ever, but healing is possible. It really is. Now I'm going to pull some tarot cards to see what wants to come out, some messages for the week. So we have the Queen of Swords. You may have a situation where there's a lack of clarity and it's calling for you to really use your intuitive abilities and to take action on this using your intuition. Also, you're going to make a decision, and a decision will be made in this, and it's going to be something that works out, because if you're using your intuition and you're tapped into that, you're going to make the right decision for it. So there's some situation in your life that's calling for you to make a decision. Yeah, so you may have competition and there may be some sort of obstacle going on with you right now. Maybe that's what's calling for you to make a decision, but it will be resolved. There may be some wise person, a man, coming in to help you resolve this situation, but with the help of a good mentor and you also leaning on your own intuition and taking action on the situation, it's going to work out in your favor. And yeah, so yes, you have very favorable things coming in. You have the Queen of Pentacles, and this is about abundance coming in. And then the Chariot, forward movement, quick forward movement. So to me, this feels like a career reading. So if you've been feeling stuck and as though you have disagreements in that going on, competition in the workplace, use your intuition. There's someone who is going to be giving you wise advice. Between that, taking that advice and listening to your own intuition, you're going to make a decision. This may be whether you want to stay in a job or leave it or start your own business even. You're going to make the right decision, and it's going to be a profitable one for you. You're going to be very abundant, and you're going to have a lot of forward movement in this. So that's very positive. I also want to pull a card or two from Angela Rose's deck what else would our loved ones want us to know? Yeah, what do I need to release? So for some of you, this might be that job. When we release and let go, and for some of you, it's that guilt. We allow the universe to provide more flow to us. Do you need to release a thought or a belief that is no longer serving you? Inhale and exhale, let go and lean in. Trust your gut. Journal what you are ready to let go of. And the mantra that goes with this is, the wisdom of my soul knows the way and I will trust it. And then you have miracle mindset. You're manifesting really quickly. You need to focus on what you want in your life, not what you don't want. All right, I hope that those messages resonated. Those are some beautiful messages. If you need help getting through your grief, you can pick up a copy of Beautiful Mourning on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Apple Books. And if you'd like to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. I do one-on-one sessions and readings. I will not reach out to use that. So my website is the only way to find me. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm sending you lots of love and light.